This interview is brought to you by Dead Man Works, Tattoos and Body Piercing in Chilliwack, British Columbia, Canada. Make sure you give the dead man a jingle dingle the next time you want a skin doodled in. Hello world, welcome to the Fonz's backyard. Today, the superfan here, I'm with Juggernaut, Josh Kwiatkowski. He's got a super big fight coming up this weekend out in Lethbridge at Rumble in the Cage 63. And we're going to talk a little bit about that right now. Josh, how are you doing, my friend?
How's it going, brother?
Doing great, my man. How are things going?
Amazing. I can't complain about anything. Life is perfect.
You look phenomenal.
Thank you.
You look ready to punch someone right in the face.
Right in his chin, yeah.
Beautiful. In the chin. Tim the Chin Tamaki. That will be the Juggernaut's opponent this weekend.
Yeah.
And not only that, Lee Mean from Rumble in the Cage has put the championship belt up on the line. Tamaki's going to be defending his belt. He's coming back after a 3-year absence from mixed martial arts, and he's on a 3-fight win streak. And here we got the Juggernaut on a 4-fight losing streak. We got to mention that.
Yep.
But look at him. Look at how happy this guy is, and how phenomenal, right? Absolutely super. So with that mention now, a 4-fight losing streak that you're going into this fight against a guy with, this is going to be his 50th fight. Tim Tamaki, his 50th fight. You're going in against a very experienced gentleman. How did this all come together?
Basically, after my last loss against Maxime Saucier, which was, in hindsight, like, it took me a while to watch that fight. Some losses you watch immediately, and some fights it takes some time. And it took a little time to watch because I had built up something different in my head than what actually had happened.
Sure.
And I watched the fight, and it was way closer than I thought, even with the eye pokes and the kicks to the groin. And it's one of those things where I actually talked to Michael, my best friend, after the fight, and I was like, well, that's the last time you'll see me in the cage. And
yeah,
it was out of just sadness in the moment. But I can't, because I love this shit so
absolutely
much. And even with being on a 4-fight losing streak, one of those fights against Lucas Nofield, watch it on YouTube. I still believe I won. I got so many messages after that fight saying that they thought I had won. Even after the fight, I was putting my hand on him saying, watch out for this guy, like he's a killer, blah, blah. And then when they raised his hand, my heart hit the floor. Ryan Rahovich, I beat the living crap out of that kid for 14.5 minutes. But I learned my most valuable lesson I've learned in my career: to never take your foot off the gas pedal until the job is done.
Right.
You can't leave until the ref rips you off or that final bell rings. So despite being on a losing streak, one of my black belts at our gym was saying this speech the other day when she received her black belt. And she was saying, being a martial artist is like starting with a blank canvas of a sword, and you forge it with every battle. And every battle that you survive and you continue, your blade is getting sharper and stronger and becoming a dangerous weapon. And despite my losses, I feel like I'm still getting better and better and better. And now with my life being just martial arts and just fighting, no trades, I feel like in the last 6 months I've made more improvements mentally, physically, and I've never fought this smart in my entire life. So people may look at his win streak and may look at my losing streak and think it's one way or another, but on Saturday night you're going to see that there is no difference between me and Tim, in the sense that we have two guys going to be trying to kill each other, and we have two skilled fighters, skilled bangers that are just going to go at it. But I'm stealing his belt on Saturday, so
beautiful.
I can't wait.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned a few things of dire importance there with coming off of this losing streak, seeing how you did in those fights. For somebody on the outside of mixed martial arts looking at it on paper, they may think that this is a ridiculous fight to put together. But those of us that are in the community and know these two fighters know that this is a very smart, very intelligently matched fight, and against two individuals who will be able to compete very levelly against one another.
Yeah.
Seeing those, I had the privilege of watching your last 2 fights. I was there live, and I had the privilege of being able to talk to you after the fights. The fight after Rohovich, I got to walk out to the car with you. We got to have a good conversation and increase the bonding that we already have. And what I saw from you immediately after that fight was that recognition of that we cannot give up, can't take the foot off the brake. So you've learned that lesson, you've known that lesson in your mind, but now you've learned it physically. And then you come off of that fight and you go into the fight against Susie, which ends up in a decision. When you heard that decision come out, you had known though, that fight, that he had won. I saw it on your face. We got to talk after the fight. I got to speak to your father, to your mom. And that was an amazing thing to be able to see you and how you handled that immediately after, because I saw it in your heart. You were heartbroken, but I knew that there was still fight in you. And I knew all that you needed was a little bit of time to be able to think things through, talk to your coaches, reassess, and get a new game plan. It's not the first time that you've been down, and it's not the last time that you're going to get back up.
Real fighters fight, and real fighters, like I was talking about it yesterday in the sauna at Pinnacle with some of my teammates. So many people would not be fighting if they were on a losing streak. So many people I know lose one fight and then they retire. And the thing is, I'm a real fighter, and I'm using the adversity of the losses to make me better and better and better. And what I learned from the Saucier fight is I have to troubleshoot. If your game plan is not working, you can't just stick to something that's not working. You must be able to change on the fly, and that's probably one of the most difficult skills in MMA, to have a plan, it not work, and instead of staying with it like an amateur or like a rookie, you must troubleshoot and change the game plan. So I've learned so many lessons these last 4 fights, and you're going to see on the first that I'm a way different, more dangerous fighter than I've ever been.
Excellent, excellent. And you've already been a dangerous fighter as it is. So this is, for myself, it's exciting to see. I happen to love the Chin as well. Love watching his fights. I was so stoked to hear that he was coming back. I didn't know who his opponent was at the time. I had just heard the rumblings and the rumors that he was coming back, and I was like, yeah, this is awesome. And then I find out that it's against you. For the belt on your birthday.
Yes, sir.
Can you talk a little bit about that? How are you a person that believes in fate or anything along those, like this happened for a reason, I believe.
There's so many variables in life, and like the moment I believe it was a couple days after the Saucier fight, I get a message from Lee Mean saying, would I be interested on fighting on October 1st for the title against Tim Tamaki? And for how I was feeling after the fight and all the thoughts going through your head, I took it like from a sign from God that like I meant to do this. And it's like the fight God saying, this is a gift to you, that it's not an easy gift, and it's a fight, but it's against someone that I look up to as an OG, as a real fighter. And Tim Tamaki is a real fighter. And despite his record, he fights whoever. He will fight on short notice. He will fight if he's hurt. Me and him are the type of guy, we could have pulled out of fights that we shouldn't have fought, and we didn't, because you signed the dotted line saying I'm going to fight Tim or Tim's going to fight me. I'll walk in there with one leg. I don't care. And Tim's the exact same way. So to look up to someone like that and to respect someone like that and have the honor to fight someone like that, I feel like it's the passing of the torch. He's almost exactly 10 years older than me, and I don't know how many fights Tim has left. He might be one of those guys that bangs it out until he dies, you know? He's just one of those guys. But that being said, I feel like it's one banger to another banger, and I feel like it's a passing of the torch. And it'll be an honor to fight him, but you won't see me looking at him on Saturday with honor or with respect. I'm looking at him to try to take him out. And I'm trying to send his chin to the 3rd floor. So
beautiful. At the end of the night, you've been visualizing, you can see yourself getting your arm raised in victory, having that belt put on your shoulder or around your waist. It's a birthday celebration. But that's not all. The world is opening up again. On your birthday, flights coming back into Canada, restrictions are being lifted. people are going to be able to start coming back into our country to put up their dukes and fight on Canadian soil.
Yes, sir.
And this is happening on your birthday as well.
It's another omen because COVID affected everyone in different ways. And for me, I make no excuses for anything, especially with the losing streak. But I will be honest when I say that I was not in a good place in COVID. I was in the lowest place in my life.
Right.
Dealing with, even with me being a fighter, I fight because I don't like bullies. And I feel like everyone was getting bullied by our government and people were being bullied by others. And to see it go around and be so okay and having other people pick a side, it was so tribalistic. And I don't do good in those situations because most of my life I've answered a lot of issues with these, right? Yeah. And I can't just go around punching everyone in the head because I feel like they're being mean or they're being stupid and not even allowed to go to restaurants or movie theaters. Having my rights stripped from me for something I didn't do, it was something that broke me down every single day. But with that being said, with my birthday being the day that it ends, it's another sign from God that life is getting back to real normal. Not a new normal, but the real normal. And it's time that Canada starts being the best country in the world again.
Absolutely.
So I'm just grateful.
Yeah, and one of the things that I would like to make clear at this point is that being a Canadian and living in this country, I absolutely love this country.
Amen.
I love my countrymen. I love my fellow brothers like the Juggernaut here, like the Chin Tamaki. I love the people that come into this country. Because I do not agree or align with the current government that is in place does not mean that I do not love the ground that I am upon. I love my country. Canada is a beautiful place. I wish for this country to open up like how we were, get back to the old normal, how we were before this whole situation.
Yes, sir.
And seeing all these things unfolding as they are in real time, it's super special. And it's special to be able to be here and share these kind of things with you, my friend.
Thank you, man. I'm just, as I said, like, it sounds cliche when you say I'm better than I've ever been, all these things. But the most important thing that I know, you can ask my family, I've never been this happy my whole life. I get to coach martial arts as a living, and I get to fight martial arts. I can't ask for anything else.
And that's a beautiful thing. And with the family that you do have, that was something that I wanted to bring up and mention as well, because I have had the honor of being able to meet them. They're amazing, amazing individuals as well as a collective unit. Your family is solid. It's beautiful. 4-fight losing streak.
Yeah.
You're the happiest I've ever seen
Yeah.
you, right?
Yeah.
And that has a lot to do with the family and the people that you're around.
Yeah.
Is that not correct?
I have the best family and the best team around me right now. Me and Dennis Kang are going out to Lethbridge, and me and Dennis this whole camp have really grown together. He's a legend of the sport. Everyone knows Dennis Kang, and we've just bonded like so well this camp. And guys like Tristan Colony has really stepped up as a brother in arms with me.
Absolutely.
But also an amazing coach, and just people are putting so much time into me, and it's because they know how much I love this sport and that I love doing this. And on Saturday, you get to see all the love in my chest get released through my fists, my feet, and my knees.
That's beautiful, my man. I'm so happy that you came out here today to the Fonz's backyard. Do you have any people that you'd like to shout out at this time?
Family and friends, I love you all. Pinnacle Martial Arts, WKX, best striking in town, Ascension Martial Arts, and New Edge Alliance with Ibby, the man.
Wow, amazing. You've got from the last time that I talked to you on camera, that's a lot of different people that have come into the mix now.
We got to make some changes, you know. I do my jiu-jitsu with Ascension, MMA with Pinnacle, and striking under Jay Johnsey with the Johnsey family.
Man, that's phenomenal.
You're going to see a difference.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. And Josh, the Juggernaut Kwiatkowski, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, bro.
I love you, man.
Love you too, man.
And I'm looking so forward to this fight. Tim Tamaki, I love you too, brother. Much respect to you. I love you, sir. But I'm looking forward to my brother here ending up at the end of the night with that belt on his shoulder or around his waist. And I wouldn't even be that upset with a draw because I love you guys both, you know. But I really want to see a winner this night. And like Josh had mentioned about the passing of the torch, if that is the time, that is right now, then so be it, and life will unfold as it is.
God bless.
But for now, I am Jeff the Superman. He is Josh the Juggernaut Kwiatkowski, and we are signing out from the Fonz's backyard.